When you have a nano tank, do you really have very many options for a cleanup crew? Welcome to the Small Scape. Today we are talking tiny cleanup crews for tiny tanks, specifically nano tanks, and generally speaking, when you talk nano tanks, it's 20 gallons and less. What options do you really have in really small tanks? That's right, number one, shrimp. You just can't beat them, especially when you're talking tiny tanks. There is no tiny cleanup crew that you could possibly pick. The shrimp. We love Neocaridina shrimp. We are sponsored by Flip Aquatics. They do have a huge variety of different colors and different types. They even have the Caridina shrimp. You can go ahead and check them out if you're ever curious or wanting to branch out for maybe some different colors. We love the Blue Dreams, the Cherry Red. I happen to love the yellow and the pumpkin shrimp, but they are so colorful, they're very active, they're fun to watch, and they are busy. They are always busy cleaning your tank. Matter of fact, if we have any plants like Anubias in certain tanks that get some algae on it, first thing that I do is pull the algae out and I put it into a shrimp tank, or we add shrimp to the tank if they are, of course, fish safe, whatever fish are also in that tank, because of course if the shrimp can fit in a fish's mouth, you can probably bid your shrimp goodbye. But there are lots of different little fish that you can keep with shrimp. There are little tiny rasboras like the chilies, the miras, the dwarf rasboras, a whole bunch of different other options, but they are so much fun to watch and they are always busy. The Amano shrimp are amazing for that. Matter of fact, they have completely transformed one of our tanks that had a lot of algae, and they were just busy. They're just getting bigger and bigger, and they're always happy and always eating, and they're just really one of the best cleanup crews that you can have if you can afford having them in your tank. Of course, if the fish in the tank already aren't big enough to eat them. You can of course keep these in a very small tank, down to like a 1 gallon if you are willing to check the parameters, because they will fluctuate much more quickly when you have a super tiny tank. But I love them, especially with seasonal or holiday inspired aquascapes. Number 2 is the Mystery Snail. They also come in many different colors. If you do like snails, or even if you don't like snails, you very well may like the Mystery Snail. They come in beautiful colors of like yellow or gold, blues, ivories, even black and green. I love these even for smaller tanks. If you have a betta, we've actually had decent luck keeping Mystery Snails with a betta. But you do want to keep an eye on that. But these are my favorite, the magenta Mystery Snails. As you can see, they go along very perfectly with the green neon. My favorite fish. And the only thing that you do need to keep keep in mind is they may escape your tank. So you might want to have a lid or drop the water down an inch or 2 from the top so that they don't go out, because they will lay their eggs. That's also possibly a negative. They will lay clutches of eggs above the water line, right at the water line. So between those two, you want to keep an eye on them, and then also make sure that there is a lid. But these are beautiful, and they work all day long, and they're just always constantly keeping your tank clean. Number 3 is the Pym Corycat. Now, when you talk cleanup crews, you want little critters to eat uneaten food by the fish, anything that's going to drop to the bottom, kind of clean it up. So you want some critters at the bottom of the tank. Now, Corycats are notorious for zooming around the bottom of your tank. Pygmy Corys, they can go up towards the middle of the tank. Sometimes they're kind of mid-water swimmers. Sometimes they're also little rock dwellers, but they are the tiniest little Corycats, and I find them to be quite adorable. You can probably keep a nice little group of these in a 10 gallon. I think I had a very small group, maybe of 6 in an 8 gallon, and it worked out just fine. They are absolutely adorable. just little tiny Corycats, and they are they just have a kind of a unique behavior when it comes to Corycats. But if you've never kept them, I would highly recommend that you try them at least once. And notable mention would be the Habrosus Cory is also a fun one that gets slightly larger than these. And then, of course, I don't have any footage of it, but the Otocinclus, I know a lot of people really do like those for their cleanup crews, but they don't really go very well in our water, so I personally have never kept them, but I think that would be another fan favorite. So let me know, which one's your favorite? Do you kind of count on certain cleanup crews in your small nano tanks? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.